Hey guys, how y'all doing? Good? Period. Let's learn about slang and other cool stuff like that. It will be awesome, trust me. This topic is off the hook. Wait, what do you think of what I just said? You may have recognized that I look like I'm talking with you, informally or casually, as if we're friends or family. The sentences that I said before is an example of a few slangs that people commonly use nowadays. But what is slang? Slang is informal, casual language used among equals with words typically unsuitable for more formal contexts, according to Pearson, Nelson, Titsworth, and Hosek on 2017. People that belong to the same age group, ethnicity, or culture typically use it to communicate with one another. In other words, while you may use slang among friends on campus, doing so in front of a more formal audience may not be the best idea. No cap, lit, YOLO, and other well-known abbreviations are among the most widely used slang phrases and expressions. Even though it may appear handy to use such distortions to speed up communication, slang misuse is a problem that is right now most frequently seen in the academic setting. Slang is often used by young people, and sadly it has expanded beyond communication even to academic writing, according to Digital Slang article on 2017. I do agree with the argument above. In my opinion, the usage of too many slang words will lead to several problems. Research shows that since slang is not standardized and may vary depending on the culture, it can cause communication barriers between older and younger generations. Today, there are 3 things that I want to share with all of you. Among them are the root of slang problem stems from its excessive use on the internet. Slang can cause misunderstanding and offending, and lastly, the usage of slang will affect someone's professionality. To start with, the root of slang problem stems from its excessive use on the internet, causing it become a habit for most of its users to complete their sentences with the abbreviations during conversing. Internet slang can be described as a variety of everyday languages that have been spoken or communicated by internet communities, according to Wan Ajri Indra, Wan Ajrami Indra, and Al Amirul Aymar Ramzan Ali on 2021. You might notice that abbreviations and words that merely appear strange are frequently used in blog posts, forums, and the comment sections under YouTube videos. Yes, the internet has its own language and it may be very different from the English you are used to. Nowadays, it has many different forms and slang is made possible by the way words are formed. According to Winarto on 2019, one of the reasons people use slang is to make communication easier and faster for them. For an example, they may abbreviate phrases and sentences to a new word. They like to combine or invent new terms that are unappealing to their peers to make them sound catchy and more creative. Because they are more adaptable to it, they commonly utilize slang in conversation, which reduces the creativity of their spoken language. They believe that if sentence is not used, it becomes incomplete and less expressive. While some people find it simple to read or write, others find it difficult to interpret what has been spoken. This problem ultimately has 2 effects. Firstly, it can cause misunderstanding and offending, as it is bound to happen when the users are new to the culture or certain groups. Slang terms might have diverse meanings depending on where you are. What may be considered acceptable in one culture may signify something entirely different in another. As a result, it may be claimed that the various acronyms and abbreviations used can lead to misunderstanding due to a number of reasons, including the fact that users in other regions hardly ever use them. Suryati Ujang, Nur Hidayah Muhammad Yusuf, and Hanani Mohammed Hamdan shared on their studies in 2018 that miscommunication might result from listeners where they're interpreting the slang in their own context, which ultimately leads to misunderstandings. For instance, the word fanny might refer to idly passing time. Fun fact, that word is used to describe someone's buttocks in the United States. However, it is used to refer to a woman's genitalia in Australia and Great Britain. See how simple it is to upset someone by misinterpreting them. Next, the usage of slang will affect someone's professionality. Slang is taking over young people's language to the point where it has become completely unintelligible. In their neighborhoods, they speak slang as their primary language and frequently lose track of the proper way to interact with the rest of society. I myself use it when I talk to my friends since it is simple to use without having to think about proper grammar. Although I tend to mix a lot of slang without even realizing it when I speak to my professors or when I write a paper, which is very not suitable. Therefore, I do think that slang makes it difficult for young people like me to have effective conversations. Today, I have talked about the root of slang problem stems from its excessive use on the internet. Slang can cause misunderstanding and offending, and lastly, the usage of slang will affect someone's professionality. To conclude with, it is difficult to argue against the fact that slang is now used often in conversation. In general, it's advisable to stick to actual words which do not create barriers to communication. You have probably heard the words of wisdom before, which is to write as though you were addressing a board of directors that you were hoping to impress. Always keep your wording clear and concise while explaining everything without using words or phrases that could mislead and turn away your listener. I state once again, it is very important for everyone to understand what I said before so that we can avoid miscommunication and misunderstanding. In the age of globalization and communication, the destiny of people, groups, communities, and countries largely hinge on their capacity for successful interactive communication. We all need to work together to achieve this goal. My name is Khairunnisa Binti Matsenan, and that is my speech for today. Thank you.